Hello everyone! Today we're going to learn how to translate a shape.
Translating a shape? Are we going to translate it into another language?
No, silly! Translating a shape means moving a shape into a different place or drawing exactly the same shape in another place. Let's start with this question. It says complete quadrilateral by drawing point D at -2, 4. So these are the coordinates of where point D should be. Right, do you remember how to plot coordinates? The first number of the coordinate is always from the x-axis, from this line, from the horizontal line. So where's -2 on the line? Let's have a look. These are positive numbers going that way. These are negative numbers. So that's -2. And the second number is always from this line, from the vertical line, from the y-axis. So this was -2 and this is 4 on the y-axis. -2, 4. So this is where our point D should be. So it says complete quadrilateral by drawing point D at -2, 4, which we have done. This is our point D. So now let's complete this quadrilateral. What's a quadrilateral? Quadrilateral is a 2D shape with 4 sides. Yeah. So far we've only got 1, 2 sides. So it's not a complete shape. It's not a shape at all. They're just 2 lines. So let's make this shape into quadrilateral by joining all of the points together. So let's have a look. So now we have a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means 4 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Now, the second part of this question is here, 1b. It says translate the quadrilateral 3 squares right and 4 squares down. So 3 squares to the right and 4 squares down. Right. To translate a shape means to draw exactly the same shape but in a different place, or it's like to move the shape. Yeah. So this is how we do it. It says 3 squares right and 4 squares down. Let's move every single point of the shape, every single vertex, every corner. So let's start with C. Okay, so 3 squares right. That's what you do. 1, 2, 3, and then it says 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is where your new C is going to be. Let's call it C1. Okay, let's just check again. 3 squares right, to the right, 1, 2, 3, and 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. Now let's move point B now. Let's translate point B now. So we're doing exactly the same. We're following the same process. So 3 squares to the right, 1, 2, 3, and 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's here. So this is where our new point B is going to be. Let's call it B1. Okay, I'll make it more visible so you can see it. Then let's make this one more visible. And the last point to move is point A. So we have 3 squares to the right, 1, 2, 3, and 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where our new point A is, and let's call it 8A1. Oh, but is that a triangle? We're not drawing a triangle. Which point did we forget, or did we not move yet? Did we not translate? It's this one, which we didn't give a letter to. It's the one we drew before, D. Right, okay, so let's move this point as well. 3 squares to the right, 1, 2, 3, and 4 squares down. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. This is where our new point D is. D. Okay, now let's join all these points together with the ruler very carefully and very precisely. Okay, let's join them together. Point to point, precisely. Try to be very careful doing this because you don't want to lose a mark. Always use a ruler. My camera is shaking. The camera is right in the way of my face. Right, let's have a look. Can you see? Now you've got two identical quadrilaterals. They're exactly the same, but this one has been translated or moved. Moved. How was it moved? 3 squares to the right. Yeah, 3 squares to the right and 4 squares down. Okay, so you have to move every single vertex, every single corner. Right, let's have a look at this task now. Number 2. Translate this trapezium, that's a trapezium, 2 squares right and 5 squares down. Right, you won't always have like to the right and then down, or to the left and then up. Sometimes you might just have 3 squares to the left and that's it. They're not going to say move it up or down, yeah? But let's make it more complicated for ourselves. So we're moving this trapezium, we're translating it, 2 squares to the right and 5 squares down. Okay, so let's, to help ourselves, let's name every single vertex, give it a letter, yeah, like that. So let's move point A first. So 2 squares to the right, 1, 2, and 5 squares down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our new point A now. Let's put A, 1. Okay, now B, 2 squares to the right, 1, 2, and 5 squares down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is B1. Right, well, you can move every single point if you want, if it is easier for you, or if you could see how the trapezium is going to go. Can you see? I can see it's going to go that way now. I can just draw it from these 2 points, but if you are not quite sure, then move every single point. Okay, let's move point C now. 2 squares to the right, 1, 2, and 5 squares down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is my point, new point C now, C1. And if you can see, that's the line, it goes, can you see? Same line there. And the last point D, well, I know where it's going to go already here, but let's do it properly. So 2 squares to the right, 1, 2, and 5 squares down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. D1. So what we've done, we've translated our shape to a new place. Translated means we moved it. So we needed those instructions, how to move it, where to move it. And the instructions were given to us by saying it's 2 squares to the right and 5 squares down. Can you see? This is our new shape, which is exactly like our old shape. It's just this shape moved to this place. Okay, that's called translation, when you're moving a shape to a new place. Готова?
Готово!
Улыбайся.